Hey guys, Kenny B here from Cities and Suburbs. How you guys doing today? September 11th, and what a day here in America to remember 23 years ago. Probably the worst attack on our homeland, you could say since Pearl Harbor, but this was a civilian target 23 years ago that the quote-unquote terrorists hit. A lot of folks that I know that may be watching this real quick weren't born yet, weren't around. I feel that because I was a little boy. I was 8 hours old when John F. Kennedy was shot. Okay, I always felt like I was there because my mother always talked about that day. I was born on November 21st, and JFK was gone 12 hours later on November 22nd, 1963, pardon me. So we all have events that we remember in our lives, and it's tough historically to pay a lot of these things forward. We talk about World War II, the greatest generation. We talk about Vietnam, but there's a lot of people, civilians and military personnel, salute them all, that have lost their lives, for the sake of this country or just being part of this country. So, yeah, September 11th, 8:46, the first plane struck the first tower, north-south. I remember it, but it's blurry a little bit in terms of all the details. 17 minutes later, another plane hit. And it was intentional at that point. We knew it was intentional. I knew where I was. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I did see the first plane. I didn't see the second plane. President Bush at the time, W. Bush, was in Texas. He was a newly elected president. He was in, I believe he was in, maybe he was in Florida. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I think he was in Florida. And doing the new presidential thing, life is good. He's reading to school kids, him and his wife, because Laura Bush is still big on education and children's education. And then when the gentleman, Andrew Card, I believe, came up and whispered in his ear, you could see the gray in his face, and what was said to him that a second plane hit the tower. It was intentional, and essentially we're at war. He finished up what he was doing, and he remained very calm. But that's astounding leadership. So here we are, 23 years later, still remembering. Now, a lot of those folks who died that day, were murdered that day, had to jump from the World Trade Center or burn to death that day, have kids, have families of their own, and you see the names read. You see the names read in Boston. You see the names read in, of course, in New York City, Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and the Pentagon. And Shanksville, Flight 93 was headed for, your house, the White House. So anyway, let's talk about that real quick. So God bless all those folks. Presidential debate last night. I don't know what it takes to win a presidential debate. I don't know what it takes. What I'm looking for in a president right now. What's a president look like? Is someone calm, cooled, and collected. And Kamala Harris absolutely did a great job last night. I will commend her. Of course, it's a veneer. She has been coached from the Democratic Party and into this particular slot, and she's certainly become the Democratic lead messenger of that party, and a party that wants to stay in power. Trump, former President Trump, he looked a little, and I'm a very even guy on both sides, but I didn't get the dog thing, and then I did some research and listened to some radio, and it is said that this is the city in Springfield, Ohio, about 70,000 people now. That was a lot less, and a lot of immigrants are being moved there, and a lot of the folks that from foreign nations are coming in to this country and being brought to your doorstep, essentially, are eating a lot of the wildlife. They're eating dogs, they're eating cats. Fluffy's missing. Springfield, Ohio man says there's nothing to this story, but I did a little listening and there's a little something to that story. But for Trump to bring it up last night as a shock factor, I don't think you really needed to do that. I think you like Harris, you like Trump, right? I mean, you already have your flavor. I like, pistachio ice cream, and I don't like pistachio ice cream. Whatever, But so I don't know what wins a presidential debate. Um, I do know that right now, the average gas price in Massachusetts is about $3.38 a gallon. They say it's about a 12.11% decrease from this time last year. So it's a little, depending on where you go. I mean, again, I talk about this a lot. North to south, 20 cents this and that, and across the street, it's at the mobile station, because that's like really great gas. It's like 320, 321. So I stay away from places that are the average. Okay. Shell, Noria, give me a break. Those guys, 338 a gallon. Come on. Unless you're giving me like free food with that. Anyway. So yeah, that was that. But then again, too, what do we expect from our presidents? Ask yourself that. What do you expect from the president of the United States? To solve all your flipping problems? No, you want the lottery to do that because you buy the lottery, and so money will do that. But we want a lot. We want a lot, right? But what do you have? Okay? You fight for what you have. And I don't dig that whole Democratic, when we fight, we win. That's a bunch of crap, We fight every day. Particularly in traffic, by the way, which the city of Worcester last night voted unanimously to lower the speed limit from 30 miles an hour in the city of Worcester. Did you guys even know there is a speed limit in Worcester? Nah. People blow through red lights. People, come on. And they lowered it to 25, lowered it to 20 in sensitive areas, meaning, let's see if I get this right, hospitals, senior housing, child care centers, sensitive areas, park playgrounds. So the city of Worcester now, and by right, I don't know, it's certainly not a preemptive move because it's a reaction to, 40 deaths in the city related to vehicles, whether, in an accident in a vehicle or the hitting of pedestrians has been, like the supposed Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, grabbing keys and putting them in the car, right? It's been so like, wow, But not to digress on that point, but it's been so like, okay, people are getting hit. And, the other morning, last Saturday, we all know things that happen after 12 o'clock at night and really aren't good, particularly on the weekends. Particularly, though, after 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, most people out there are either like just coming home from a really good night or they shouldn't be driving. A 26-year-old motorcycle driver, I believe it was like 2:45 in the morning last Saturday, which would have made it the 7th of September, almost 3 a.m. in the morning, going down Shrewsbury Street, hits a car that's taking a left turn. He hits, and where does he go? Thrown from the vehicle, pronounced dead at the scene. 26 years old. 26 years old. You can't always be first. Don't be stupid. Now, lowering the speed limit from 30 to 25, is that going to make a difference? Now there's all this these tests that, well, when a person gets hit at 20, given this speed limit, they have a chance to live. Man, people aren't thinking like that. Worcester is crazy right now. It's crazy. First of all, your road patterns are terrible. They suck. They're so like 20th century. They're all the brick buildings and all these old roads you're going to go around and redesign it. terrible traffic patterns in Worcester, terrible traffic patterns. Bike lanes where cars just park, okay? So what is the real issue? You can't just, again, I said you can't legislate stupidity. Now, I drive through Worcester every day, particularly, you guys know, and particularly maybe you guys don't know, but around that WPI corridor, down West Street, and I'm always looking, man. I'm not just taking a shortcut and buzzing down that road. I'm always looking. I'm looking. If it's 7:30 in the morning, I am looking, man. I'm looking for that truck worker. I'm looking for that college student with the earbuds who they're not looking these days. So you guys need to give a little, heads up too to those college kids that, just walking around, or anybody just walking around thinking magically that a car is going to stop you, even in, the gated and guarded crosswalk. Those days are over, okay? So traffic calming patterns are coming to Worcester. They're talking about hawk pedestrian crossings where you can, if you're a driver, you can actually see, that there's something, the crosswalk lit up and let's go. Do we go over the traffic? Right? Skywalks? Maybe we do that. That may be safer, right? As long as the trucks don't come in and knock us on our ass. Anyway, guys, just a really quick update, but what do you guys think about the presidential debate last night? The city council's move to from 30 miles an hour to 25 miles an hour, again, which I've never seen anybody do 30 miles an hour in Worcester. And when you do, right, you go around them because the roads are like parkways. How you guys doing economically? How you're feeding the gas tank and making ends meet? Is the president of the United States, whoever it is, really improving your life? We have some local elections. We have Elizabeth Warren being challenged this year, and so there's some challenges out there. Get out and vote. We have maybe 50 days, whatever it would be, right? But anyway, we're in pumpkin spice territory, you guys. So like, subscribe, and I'll share some things down for you. And please comment, and thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. I'm going to be signing out. Thanks.